If you hood educated, I'm glad you made it. Allow me to unfold my knowledge, wisdom, and understanding from a hood brother's point of view to all of you, here, there, and everywhere. Now check me out.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor.
Four person. If you would stand and read your verdict, please.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder as charged in count 1 of the indictment. We, the jury, find the defendant guilty of first-degree murder as charged in count 2 of the indictment. And we, the jury, find the defendant guilty of convicted felon in possession of a firearm as charged in count 3 of the indictment.
Thank you. Juror number 1, is that your verdict? Juror number 34, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 35, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 11, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 14, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror number 17, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror number 27, is that your verdict?
It is, Your Honor.
Juror number 33, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 25, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 44, is that your verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 23, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Juror number 28, is that your verdict?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you again for your time and attention to this matter this week. Our system of self-government would not work without your service and sacrifice that you've made. Thanks again for your time and attention. You are excused.
Jurors excused.
Mr. Johnson, the jury having found you guilty of conspiracy to commit first-degree murder, and convicted felon in possession of a firearm. As the 13th juror, I affirm this verdict. As to the first-degree murder, I sentence you to life in prison. I will set punishment as to the conspiracy and the convicted felon in possession of a firearm after a sentencing hearing. The date for that hearing will be
Found that boy guilty on all charges. Sentenced that boy to life in prison instantly. Ain't no, come back a month later, 3 months later for sentencing and got everybody wondering how much time they gonna give him and all that old type of stuff. Sentenced that boy to life in prison, like easy work. Easy. I told y'all that boy was 100% guilty. I told y'all that this case right here was going to be a slam dunk case. They had too much stuff corroborating one another. They had too much compelling evidence against him for a jury to sit there and say that this boy right here is innocent. There was no way. No way. Especially when they got stuff like this against the boy. Check it out.
5 on your news leader. The prosecution has rested after 3 full days of testimony and 10 witnesses. The prosecution believes it has presented enough evidence to convict Justin Johnson for the murder of rapper Young Dolph. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Greg Hurst.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Skurlock, but Johnson is just one piece of this puzzle. Investigators say the true mastermind was Anthony Mims, aka Big Jook, a high up at CMG Records and rival of Young Dolph. Jook is also the older brother of Yo Gotti. WREG's Shay Arthur has been covering this trial every step of the way. She's live tonight with the very latest. Shay?
Hey, Stephanie. Hey, Greg. Yeah, another dramatic day here in court. Just minutes ago, Johnson's attorney actually asked a judge that he be acquitted. The judge denied that request and said this case really is up to a jury. Johnson also, he took the stand briefly here and said he has chosen not to testify on his own behalf. He confirmed he went over the pros and the cons with his attorney, and he ultimately decided not to. But really, Stephanie, Greg, much of today, it focused on cell phone records. A forensic expert testifying cell phone towers around Crosstown Concourse where Johnson lived, the gas station where he picked up the stolen white Mercedes used in the murder, Makita's Cookies where young Dolph was killed, and the apartment where he went after the shooting, all showed his phone made contact with the cell phone towers around there. Now, another big note today, another expert witness analyzed Johnson's calls and text messages. It showed him receiving a picture of that white Mercedes car the day before the murder. It also showed that, get this, his mother tried calling him at 12:23, the time of young Dolph's murder. Now, listen to the investigator. He describes the calls during the homicide. Then notice who a call is made to just minutes after.
That time frame was significant for me and the investigators because that was at the same time frame that the homicide was being committed. 12:25:40, Justin Johnson places an outgoing call to Anthony Mims, and it's got a 2-second duration, which appears probably to go unanswered.
At 12:25 time there, again, so that testimony, very telling. He says Justin Johnson's phone records called Big Jook. Investigators say contracted that hit on Dolph's life. Then they say that what appears to be a FaceTime call came in just a short time after. This matches up with what Johnson's accomplice, Cornelius Smith, also accused in the murder, testified earlier this week. He told the jury that moments after the shooting, Johnson FaceTime Big Jook. Again, as you just mentioned here, the prosecution has rested their case. It's now up to the defense to bring witnesses if they choose to the stand. We'll be following it every step of the way. For now, court is adjourned for the day. Resumes tomorrow. For your news leader, we're live downtown tonight. Shay Arthur, WREG News Channel 3.
All right, looks like we're nearing the end there. Thank you, Shay. And
y'all see all that compelling evidence? What made him think in his mind that he was going to get a not guilty verdict with all that compelling evidence proving and showing that he's guilty? See, that be the problem with a lot of you gangbangers and a lot of you gangsters and a lot of you street guys. Y'all do crimes, and then when it's time for y'all to do some time, y'all don't want to do no time. Y'all think y'all finna get in front of these juries, I'm talking about these tax-paying citizens who ain't never committed a crime a day in their life, or they ain't got caught for a crime, you don't understand what I'm saying, but, and think y'all finna fool them with just arguing points and stuff like that? As soon as I seen that his lawyer rested right after the prosecution, I knew. I said, yeah, it's over with. It's done. That tells me that his lawyer didn't do no investigation, period. His lawyer ain't do nothing. Because we got to understand something. When you have a real lawyer and they doing their own investigation, they're not going to rely on the experts of the prosecution. His lawyer relied upon all the expert testimony of the prosecution and did not present his own expert his own people to come in and testify. Nobody. He didn't even bring in somebody that said, hey, you know, straight drop when he was young, you know, he fell down and bumped his head. That kind of made him kind of crazy. He got PTSD because he seen all his homies get killed, and, you know, his mama was this, his daddy was that. He grew up. He ain't up to a character, nothing. He did not bring nothing to defend that boy whatsoever. So as soon as I seen the defense say, hey, Your Honor, you know, I rest the case, I said, oh, yeah, no, this over with. This cook, that boy done. Deep fried, baked. It's over with. And now he has life in the penitentiary. Like I always tell you young brothers, you young sisters, you classic brothers, you classic sisters, I tell y'all time and time again, living that street life, you gonna get buried in the ground because they gonna kill you living that street life, or you going to the penitentiary to do the remainder of your life. And that's what happened to Straight Drop. Justin Johnson. This boy right here finna go do life in a Tennessee prison. And it's not, look, it's not a cakewalk down there in Tennessee to do that time. It's not a cakewalk. But the cold-blooded part about why he's doing all that time, family members and stuff like that, look, he can forget about that. Girlfriends, child's baby mamas and all that, hey, that's, you can, hey, stop calling them right now. Leave them alone. They finna go on with their life. Leave them alone. The only person, if his mama's still alive, you know, it's only his mama or your father. Big Jook dead. CMG ain't gonna touch you because you hotter than fish grease right now. You got them looking real suspicious and hot. So they not finna touch you. They not finna give you no type of support. That's over with. You tried to have Cornbread snitch on Big Jook and Quet. So your homeboys looking at you sideways now that done came out. It's a cold-blooded game. But when you playing in that game, these are the results. I keep telling y'all that. And I'm going to keep showing y'all that. And I'm going to keep reiterating it so that it can get through your head. I'm going to keep pounding it in. I'm going to continue to pound it in so that you can understand that, hey, this brother right here ain't lying. This happens all the time. Not just on this level, because this is a major level. But we talking about even in your hood. This happens all the time. So what have we learned throughout this whole demonstration? One thing that we all should take from this is that the street code is a lie. The street code I'm talking about is a myth. The real street code is lies and betrayal, prison and death. That's the real street code. It don't exist. Listen, this boy right here, Cornelius Smith, Quet, all them broke all the street codes. I'm talking about, they broke the book. Every street code you can think of, them boys right there was, I'm talking about violating. So we can learn from this right here. The street code don't exist no more. That stuff is dead and gone. And for those people that hold on to the street code, who think that, you know what, I ain't gonna tell no, I'm gonna stay down. Guess what happened to those type of people that stay down and try to be down with the street code? They die, or they go to the penitentiary, or they be left making posts like this. Check it out. Yeah, that's Straight Drop. Right after the verdict. Criminal responsibilities. He taking on street responsibilities and never will, eat the cheese and all that. Come on, brother, you finna go do life in the penitentiary. And you still trying to hold on to this street code like it means something. Tell the truth. You hurt in the inside. Tell the truth. You thinking about how you gonna get out of this situation. You wishing that there was a way out, that you can get out of this situation. Because you know right now that when they say life in Memphis, they mean life. Let me show y'all something real quick. This right here, I'm talking about, when I seen this right here, I can't even explain it, y'all. I'm talking about but when I seen it, it just was like, oh my God, it was a lot. And it says a lot. And we can learn a lot. And all you youngsters that pay attention to my channel can learn a lot. just from this one picture. Check it out. Y'all see that? That is straight drop. On stage with young Dolph. In the background singing young Dolph songs and everything. Probably telling young Dolph and all his friends and cousins, man, I'ma slide for PRE. I'm down with y'all. I'ma kill, rob, steal for y'all and all that. That same man that was just on stage with young Dolph in that picture is the same young man that stood over young Dolph and pumped bullets into his body until he died. That same young man that was on stage with young Dolph plotted to kill him. Had ample opportunity to think about it and say, well, you know what, wait a minute, bro, hold on. We tripping, man. Like, I ain't finna, Dolph ain't did nothing to me. Dolph ain't shot at me. Dolph ain't killed nobody in my family or nothing like that. Man, I'm not finna go kill this man right here, man. Like, I know that man. I know his little cousin, man. What's that boy name? They used to rap with young Dolph, Glock. I know his cousin Glock. We was tight, and to stand over that man and shoot him like that, plot to kill him, and but this is the street life. This is what the street life has to offer you. This is street code type activity. This is criminality. But this is what you want to follow? This is the path that you want to go down? These are the people, gang, that you want to surround yourself with? That will be friends with you one day, then the next day standing above you, pumping your body full of lead. This is the life. These are the people you want to kick it with and surround yourself with. No, You got to be way more intelligent than that. You got to think way better than that. Because if you thinking that you different and you thinking that, oh no, my gang, we won't never do that. We won't never. Look, Dolph probably thought the same thing. Rest in peace to that brother. Cornelia Smith, Cornbread, and all them, they thought the same thing. They didn't know Quet was gonna cut their throat like that. After that murder happened and the pressure got to be applied to everybody, Quet said, oh, hold on. Wait a minute. Let me call it. Hey, what's up? Yeah, this is me. Because I believe Quet got a badge, y'all. I believe he got a walkie-talkie and everything. I'm just keeping it real. I ain't even trying to be funny. I believe Quet got a badge and he ain't even ashamed of it. I think he got some type of, serial number or something where he can call the police and say, hey, this is Agent 253-3425-26. And they say, whoa, stop everything. What's going on? And he can tell them stuff and they believe it. Because there's no way that Quet should not have got on that stand and testified. Quet is the glue to the whole operation. Quet can connect everything to Big Jook. Quet and Big Jook is like this. We got Quet, Big Jook, that's the connection. Then we got Jook, Yo Gotti, that's another connection. But for some reason, they did not want to put him on the stand to make that connection. All that he's a defendant and stuff like that, I understand that, right? I understand that because that's what the prosecution was trying to say. Well, he has a right, he's a defendant, he has a right not to testify. No, that doesn't mean nothing. You still can call him and let him get on the stand and say, hey, I refuse to testify. That's what they normally do. And then for the simple fact that the defense ain't called him. If the defense argument through this whole thing was that Straight Drop ain't do nothing, but it was Quet, Cornelius, and Big Jook, that it was all them, why wouldn't the defense, why wouldn't his lawyers Straight drop lawyers, why wouldn't they call Quet to testify? To get him on that stand and to question him. He could have acted dumb, whatever, but still they could have put those questions out there. Why didn't they call him? Listen, man. Quet, that boy cold. Remember, he got locked up and got out. They let that man out. This man running around here freaking, he the mastermind. I don't want no dealings with him. Quet raw. He too calm. Man, Quet to get on that phone and, hey, look, and you will be locked up for some stuff you ain't even know you ain't. Look, Quet like that. He like that. Because let me tell y'all one more thing though. Y'all gotta reiterate this right here. Whenever you get charged for a murder and you can get released on like a $90,000 bond on a murder, listen, you gotta have a badge. They don't even let police do it. This man might got a federal badge, a CIA or some shit. Police don't even get that type of treatment. So we got to keep that in our mind through this whole demonstration, because we understand that he got a trial and we understand that Cornelius got a trial coming too. But truth be told, I don't even think they're going to have a trial. I think that their deals are already in play and that they're going to come in and say, I plead guilty. I plead guilty. I ain't going to have no trial. And then the prosecution going to ask for leniency and stuff like that. The judge going to give them some play. They ain't going to do life in the penitentiary. But straight drop, fall guy, it's over with. You doing life. What we have just witnessed is the threat of life in prison. And under that threat of life in prison, you see so-called street guys, Orange Mound Quet or Cornelius Smith, Straight Drop. You see so-called street guys, the guys that traded him the car, that gave him the Mercedes-Benz. His brother. So-called, you see these street guys, they start to break. See, when you get threatened with life in the penitentiary, the next thing you know, now you got all these so-called street guys thinking about their life all of a sudden. All that, I don't care, I'm going to die for the hood and all that done went out the window. Now it's like, man, they talking about giving me life, man. Hold on, wait a minute. I'm going to miss my kids, bro. Man, you know, my girl, she pregnant, man, with my baby, man. All this stuff, now all of a sudden you start caring about stuff. But what we just seen is this right here, and all you youngsters need to pay close attention to this. Because if you out there gang banging and you in that street life, y'all gonna end up shooting and killing somebody, because that just comes with the program. That's what y'all gonna end up doing. And when your friends get put up under that threat of doing life in the penitentiary, and you had something to do with that murder, hey, look, yeah, I need to speak to the homicide detectives, man. Tell them to come down. I got to talk to them about something. I'm for real this time, man. I ain't gonna play no game. I'm for real. Yeah, your friends gonna want to talk. They gonna want to tell. They gonna want to snitch. Look, this street life offers you nothing but lies, betrayal, prison, or death. That's the reward that you get for living the street life. And I'm going to continue to report on it, because I'm going to pound it into y'all so that y'all can understand, like, damn, like, hood educated ain't lying. Like, this is what really happens. But like I say, this is on a major level. But all throughout the ghettos, all across America, this is regular programming. These boys get put under the threat of doing life in the penitentiary, and they telling on everything. Just like we just witnessed all these peoples do. Street guys telling on the stand. I'm talking about comfortably telling. Not even scared. Come on now. Tighten up. start to think for yourself. Don't let the hood think for you. Don't let the gang think for you. Start thinking for yourself. And don't be scared to change. Don't fear change. Because what you doing right now with your life ain't nothing. Anything that you can do outside of gang banging and committing crimes that can get you sent to the penitentiary is a plus. They gave that boy $800 for killing young Dolph. The lawyer part, that wasn't a part of the deal. They gave him that $50,000 for the lawyer because they didn't want him to tell on them. That was the play on that. But they gave that boy $800. And he killed Dolph under a promise of $40,000. That man could have worked at McDonald's and made more than that in 2 weeks. That man probably could have stood on the corner with a sign that said, look, I'll work for food, or can you please donate anything, and made more than $800. But that's what's going on out here. That's the play. People are out here using whoever they can use to do their dirty work. And you got to understand, as a young man or a young woman in these ghettos all across America, there is somebody right now that is looking down upon you. And they want to use you. They want to manipulate you. They want you to take the chances with your life to send you to the penitentiary or to get you killed. The same way Big Jook did everybody that had something to do with this. This is hood educated, not lame related. Peace and love, and y'all take care of yourself out there. If I said anything that caused you to think, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're not subscribed already. And if you're feeling generous, please make a small donation to the channel. Now, before I depart, allow me to give a shout out to some of the blessings that I received this week. Allow me to give a shout out to Carter for the $25 Cash App. Thank you. Allow me to give a shout out to Tangela Powell for the $10 Cash App. Thank you. Keon Daniels for the $5 Cash App. Thank you. Robert Chapman for the $2 Cash App. Thank you. Bernice Cox for the $10 Cash App. Thank you. Business 101 for the $10 Cash App. Thank you. Sister Pam 7812 for the $5 Cash App. Thank you. Tina Thomas for the $3 Cash App. Thank you. Phoebe Walker for the $20 Cash App. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Mr. Block 6 for the $5 Cash App. For the $20 Cash App. Thank you. And last but not least, Desert Detroiter for the $4.99 super thanks, and HL for the $10 Venmo. This is hood educated, not lane related. Peace and love. And y'all take care of yourself out there.